Hey guys, this is Lisa, and I'm here today with HR Life by Design. Here just to talk to you about my video on how to survive in a pandemic, how to survive with COVID 19. HR professionals today, we're going through difficult times like never before. And I don't have to tell many of you this, but we are experiencing so much stress in the workplace like never before. And we have to help our employees who are going through this stressful time. The entire country, the entire world has been stressed due to the COVID 19. And so, my video, How Do You Survive in a Pandemic? Well, I have 3 steps for you to survive in a pandemic. If you are working in the HR environment, you're going to want to sit back and take note of some of the things that I'm going to share with you. But there will be, I can tell you, there will be a lasting impact on the way in which we work in HR because we've never worked like this before. HR has always been challenging to work in. Why? Because our days are different. If you're working in employee relations, you're going to have different situations and different outcomes every day. If you're working in talent management and you're managing your talent, you're hiring for teams and you're documenting their performance and you're managing performance. If you're with training and development, you're training teams. All of this right now has evolved to a whole different stage, a whole different level. And that's what I want to talk about because COVID 19 has taken this challenge to another level. But what I can tell you is that as an HR professional, this is our time. This is our time to rise up and shine. This is our time to rise up and become the leaders that our organizations need us to be. We have so many different decisions that we have to make. We have to guide our teams, our departments, into working differently in methods that they may not have experienced before, such as remote and telework. We have to guide our teams into how to work remotely successfully and how to log in for virtual meetings and how to utilize different platforms such as Zoom for virtual meetings, WebEx, Microsoft Teams. There's so many out there, but we have to give our teams and our employees the guidance so that they will understand how they can still stay connected and still work successfully, even though this is such a stressful time for everyone. So, as I thought about this, I thought about how some of our HR professionals, some of us have had to reduce our workforce. We've had to let some people go. We've had to give out some severance packages to employees who have worked for us for years. And we have to make sure that we understand the type of stress that individuals are under today. And that's one of the things, the questions I guess that I would have would be, how can this be the best of times and the worst of times all at the same time? Trying to survive in a pandemic. I tell you, this is HR leadership's moment. And I believe that simply because the best is the elevated importance that has been given to us as HR professionals, as HR leaders, to handle and make key decisions concerning COVID 19. Some of us may have been assigned to workforce task groups that manage the decision making all around COVID 19. Some of us have had to make key decisions on our training and development, if we could even afford in our budget at this time to train individuals and to onboard individuals in virtual settings. We have to make decisions that are causing us to work differently than we've ever worked before. So, how do we survive in a pandemic as an HR professional? Well, I have 3 areas that will help you survive through this stressful situation. The first one is just making the decision to show up. Show up. If you're an HR manager, an HR director, an HR leader, an operations manager, a director, show up for your employees. And what I mean by that is being present, whether it's showing up online, showing up in the manner if you're 6 feet apart and you're social distancing, however you have to meet with those employees per your organizational guidelines, show up. That's the main thing. And not just being there showing up, but showing up and being present. There's a difference. You can show up physically, but to be present, you have to be all in. So be all in when it comes to your employees and being on the same page with them to make sure that you can help them through this stressful situation that they're trying to survive in this COVID-19 pandemic. Once you show up, there's another key that goes with that. The second key that I want to introduce you to. Show up is the first one. The second one is have empathetic leadership. That is, when you show up and you're present, make sure that you have the emotional intelligence to be able to utilize the skill of sensing, that you can sense what that employee is going through. Your employee may have lost a loved one, they may have lost a friend, they may have become infected themselves, they may have had to go into quarantine due to someone in their family being infected. We don't know all those details until they share under necessity what we need to know. But the fact is, what we can do to help our employees is to make sure that we are utilizing emotional intelligence and that we are showing empathy. And by showing empathy is being there for that person and showing them that you see them, you understand what they're going through, and you want to be helpful as their HR leader or their manager, whatever your role or title is. And the last thing is, we want to understand through this COVID-19 pandemic, we want to understand what we have learned. What have we learned in this crisis, and how can we determine to move forward in terms of the work-life balance in this pandemic? How can we move forward? What is post-COVID-19 going to look like? Because we will come out of this. We will come out and survive this pandemic, but we're going to have to use some key areas that I want us to focus on to assure that we are leading and stepping up to the plate and rising up and doing the things that are needed for our employees. HR is always and has always been about the people. And if you're not a people person, HR is not the right business for you to be in. But if you care about people, if you are passionate about people, then human resources is a great profession. And I would suggest fall in love with it. I fell in love with human resources and training and development. And I love people. So make sure that as you go out into your respective workplaces, that you take this with you and understand that you need to show up, have empathetic leadership, and then understand what we have gone through in this crisis. What did we learn from it? And how can we move forward? I think if you think about those keys, that will be the answer to helping you to survive the COVID-19 pandemic. And not only survive it, but thrive, because truly, this is our moment. This is the moment for every human resource professional to step up, to rise up, and to be in the moment and to be helpful to our business partners and to our organizations. Thank you so much for watching today. I look forward to seeing you again. Just comment in the comment box if you'd like. I always answer my comments. I'll be looking for those. Hit that subscribe button and that like button, and I'll see you next time.